Y'all excited? I'm excited. Gonna play some Oxygen Not Included. I'm K. So I've expanded a little bit, made a couple more farms, got rid of our medical area. I need to move our medical area. Still need to build another one. I insulated the exterior wall because the base was actually getting pretty hot in this corner over here. I also built a couple algae farms. One in the polluted water, one in the fresh water. Redesigned our hydrogen I'm not exactly sure what the official name of this area is. It's just basically our super cool area where we're gonna hopefully be able to start pumping in all of our carbon dioxide or all of our chlorine if we get that. So I can get it into solid form. So it does seem to be working pretty well. Go ahead and turn it back on. This thermal regulator takes a lot of damage. I know if an electronic is in carbon dioxide, it heats up extremely fast. So I'm trying to keep this one in cool oxygen. And it will stay cold for a while, but then eventually it always gets hot again. I'm not exactly sure if there's another gas I can store it in. Go ahead. I keep getting all this ice and everything else. Go ahead and start digging out some of the stuff. Try to hopefully get rid of it. I mean, I even got a weasel wart near it. Wheezewort, not weasel wart. To try to keep it a little cold. And that doesn't seem to be helping. I mean, it's keeping the area. Like, even in the warmest around it, it's only 38 degrees. A majority of it is around the single digits. Not sure what I can do to help that situation out. On our immensely long ladder going straight up, I'm still scrolling. So we've uncovered another area, which if I go up, I'm going to hit chlorine. Which I'm not too worried about. So theoretically, the chlorine will drop. It will probably get captured in this area. If not, it will come down here and factor into our base. Once it's into our base, theoretically, this pump will grab it. This pump will take it out. And, this pump will actually put it right here. What I need is for this pump to grab it. That pump will take it down to bring it to here, which that one's for carbon dioxide. So this one will be for the chlorine. And that will pump it directly into here. So in trying to clean up some of the oxygen that's around here, got a nice little pocket of oxygen right here. Nice pocket of oxygen all around here. But as you can see, it's not filtering the polluted oxygen. Kind of like storing it. What I'm going to go ahead and try to do is I'm going to basically turn these off. Let the polluted oxygen gather back up. Just so I can try getting rid of it again. We do have three. No, we have two more people that have joined our base. Let's get our third. Okay, we're not getting our third. Yeah, I don't like any of those people. All right, cycle 427. As you can see, our hydrogen trap's getting down to temperature. I was able to fix the entire overheating of the thermal regulator by doing this little trick here. Basically, the water is dripping on the thermal regulator, and that's keeping it cool. Kind of a little exploit right now, but it is working. At no time has this thermal regulator gone, gotten damaged because of overheating. So these have been going nonstop as long as I can get power to them, and they're working really well. We're starting to have a little issue with fresh water. Our fresh water is going down. Now, we got plenty of fresh water over here, but this water is hot, like really hot. And I think that's going to screw up our entire thing if we, basically drop this into here. Plus, with the amount of polluted water that we have, probably should start recycling some of our water. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm basically purifying the water. And it does seem to be working. As you can see, it is pouring a good amount of water back into this area here. Go ahead and get that going so that we can get some more polluted water in here. So with that said and done, we are having a little issue with our temperature, and our base itself is getting a little hotter than I would like. I think in the future for our next base, we're going to keep some of these blocks so that I can plant Wheezeworts just sporadically through the base. I did build a little pump down here so that I could start sucking out some of the carbon dioxide that keeps getting trapped in this area. I got a good amount out. Now I'm just waiting for more to build up, and then I'll get that rest of that out. Not sure if I should do the same over here. I mean, it seems to be actually going away. Now in a second, this is going to get flooded, so. We do have two new people. And I might get our last one. I want 15 people total. Loud sleeper. That's not a good thing. Other than that, you would have been perfect, buddy. We already have at least one narcoleptic, but I think we actually have two, so. Alright. Next. I don't know what these do. So we do have a power issue. I gotta figure out how to get rid of our power issue. And for the most part, we just gotta turn things off when we're not using. Our base is almost completely pressurized. As for our stairwell to the edge of the world, we have apparently hit it. So we have this block here, which, from what I'm reading, basically says that it's non-passable. So I'm assuming that that is probably a little up higher. So I believe that's probably our... I'm pretty sure that's probably the edge of the map right there. So if that is, then that basically tells us that there is there's a border. It does take them a while to get up here. Oh, we're down to negative 37 degrees. That's actually pretty good. I believe some of these... So if we can get like the carbon dioxide down to like maybe negative 100, it should freeze. Become a solid. Once it's a solid, then we don't have to worry about it anymore. We can basically just get rid of this entire area and just pump all the carbon dioxide into here. It will freeze, become blocks at the bottom. And I have discovered something. So this algae farm is underwater. The water around this algae farm is 95 degrees. But this algae farm is actually producing oxygen. The oxygen is bubbling through the water. Now, I don't know if this oxygen is... I mean, the oxygen does seem to be the same temperature as the water. So the question is if you put a whole bunch of these algae farms at the very bottom, if they produce oxygen, is the oxygen... Would the oxygen help cool down the water? I mean, it's the same temperature, but is it the same temperature? Like, what's the temperature of the oxygen as it gets formed? Because of so much stuff here, I can't tell. I mean, it seems like it says 80-something degrees. So if that's actually it, because when it goes up here, it looks like it's at 90 degrees. I'm interested to see if that happens, because we're definitely having a trouble bringing down the temperature of our water. I think the only other thing that we could do would be next time when we plan out this, to plan to have like a whole bunch of granite and stuff inside of here to where it helps keep it cold. Because the temperature of the biome is actually helped by the blocks. So if we keep the blocks for the ice biome inside the water, it should help cool the water down. All right. Well, we'll find that out and be right back. So we have just started day 446. And we've gotten to the point where we're pretty well self-sufficient. We've got our water tank here. We have pretty much an endless supply of water between this geyser, and the one over here. The water, because of this little thing that we've done right here, the water actually cools down fairly quickly. We have our hydrogen, our little hydrogen area, cooling down pretty quick too. We're down to, in the middle, about negative 86 degrees. Close to the vent, we're at negative 91 degrees. I mean, we're getting pretty good there. This little trick right here about dripping water on it, working beautifully. Keeps this temperature down. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. So we have an endless supply of food, even with the issue we're having right now with fertilizer. But all that issue is just I've closed this door out. Our people weren't really generating power as fast as I'd like them to. We have a couple options that we could do. We could get a bunch more people. They'd make our base run a little bit smoother. We definitely have the food for them. With our ladder that goes all the way up, I went ahead and stopped it. We've hit the edge of the map. Now it still lets me scroll up to here. But it looks like this this unminable block right here, which is extremely cold. So I'm actually interested seeing if we can figure out a way to use this to our advantage. I mean, negative 450? That's cold. Alright, so we're on cycle 465. We're very self-sufficient. I've even increased our population to 18, and we still have plenty of food. It does go down sometimes, but it goes right back up. So, for the most part, we're self-sufficient. We got an endless supply of fresh water. We had a way to try to filter out our old polluted water, and it did work. And technically, it's unlimited. It's a way to get unlimited dirt, but it's just very slow. So whenever our polluted water just gets high up, we'll just mop it. Not a big deal. Our hydrogen trap, we got it down pretty low, and then I turned it all off and forgot about it, and it went back up to about minus 70. So we lost about minus 30 degrees. But we're back down to about minus 100 in a lot of the areas. So this idea definitely could work and will work. We can pump in our chlorine and stuff after a while, and it will freeze and just drop to the ground. And then that gets rid of any chlorine that we have. I would like to get, for the most part, I never see any of our people, any of our duplicates, minions, whatever you want to call them. I never see them running on these two generators. The reason for that is all the hydrogen pumps into this one hydrogen generator, and it keeps everything, for the most part, topped off. Works very well. I would like to get our hydrogen, I guess, production high enough to where we could get another hydrogen generator nonstop. Because this entire circuit, I mean, it has 1.1 kilowatts being used. So it's fantastic. I believe that circuit is all of our oxygen. Yeah, that circuit's all of our oxygen. So that this one hydrogen generator is able to power all of our oxygen electrolyzers. So 4 of those, or is it 5? 5 of those powers one generator. And these aren't even running all the time. They keep getting hit with max gas pressure. I did turn all of them off just to see how quickly we lost pressure, and it took us about, I mean, it took us a good amount of cycles, but it took us a few cycles to get it down to uh, low concentration throughout the entire base. So I'm very satisfied with our base. I'm very satisfied with our build. We've learned quite a bit of things. One of the things we learned is, for the most part, we should have never need more than 2 geysers. So having a 3rd geyser and a 4th on standby, we didn't need that. We also learned that though this works, it doesn't work on a large scale that we want it to. And we learned a lot about getting our hydrogen to get down in temperature. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to call it quits for this world, and we're going to start a new world. And in this new world, we're going to try to use more of the map. I think that would be good, is try to use more of the map. Maybe have multiple of these little buildings. I mean, this is a fairly large build. So what if we had a whole bunch of little smaller builds? That's something that I'm going to be thinking about. All right, well, next time we play this game, we're going to be starting on a new world. So until next time, have fun.